The Oklahoma wheat crop harvested at 52 million bushels for 2018. According to USDA, that's almost half as small, 47% less than last year's 98.6 million. Jimmy Music from Sentinel, Oklahoma, is president of the National Association of Wheat Growers.
Harvested the least number of acres I've harvested in probably out of 50-something years of farming. It's probably the smallest crop I've had in 40 years.
How I would describe harvest overall was quick. One, we just didn't have quite the amount of acres that we've traditionally had in the past to harvest. And then two, we also had pretty good weather during harvest to be able to get a lot of these acres out pretty quickly overall. As we got towards the end of harvest into the latter part of June, where we were still trying to cut some wheat, we did get a little bit of rainfall, so it did delay things a little bit there. But overall, harvest went pretty quickly for most folks around the state.
When we got down to our harvested acres, we were down to our best land and our best wheat because we had disastered everything else. So our acres, we had some of our wheat made 31 bushel and some made 26. And we had one new variety that Dr. Carver has bred called Smith Go that made 41. And that's been a great boost to see those new varieties come out from OSU.
Test weights overall were pretty good from start to finish. A lot of test weights being reported, at least in that 60 pounds per bushel range, some being higher than that, and really not falling off a whole lot as we progress through harvest up to the northern part of the state. Where we did have some rain towards the end of June, then we did see a little bit of a drop in test weights there, but overall stayed pretty consistent. Protein values as well, kind of being above average overall. So in that respect, yeah, those were pretty good to see given the type of year that we had.
And to put that another way, a year without sufficient moisture for many parts of Oklahoma. Dr. Marburger says you can see that in wheat kernels that are smaller than average.
We just had very poor grain filling conditions overall for the state in general. We went from the second coldest April on record to the warmest May on record. And right in that transition period, we were so delayed, it just happened to be where a lot of that wheat was heading, flowering, and just beginning grain fill. So we turned off hot and we were still pretty dry in those times when we were now going through the grain fill period. So for most wheat in the state, overall kernel size is probably smaller than what we would like to see.
I think that's true 100%. I think we had overall statewide lower test weight, and I think overall we had better proteins across the country, and it'll be a little easier to sell like that.
Jimmy Music, president of the National Association of Wheat Growers, and Dr. David Marburger, small grains extension specialist with Oklahoma State University. I'm Don Atkinson reporting for the Oklahoma Wheat Commission and Oklahoma Genetics Incorporated.